3 weeks at Fiesta Key.
We survived!
The weather was crazy.
The weather was brutally cold, windy, cloudy, and rainy. I think we had about 3 days of real sunshine, and it was not the full day. It was just little pockets of sunshine, but we took advantage of them.
We might need to clarify brutally cold.
Okay, brutally cold, that's good. Because during the day, I don't know, 60? What do you think it was for the high?
The highs were in the 70s and 80s.
Not every day. Not every day was 70s and 80s. I was wearing hats and mittens. Let's talk about the lows. When we woke up in the morning to walk the dogs, I was wearing hat, mittens, and jacket. So it was actually a good thing because, you know, we just came off of this big travel from the West Coast. We came from California, now we're in Florida. So it was a really good way to force us to be productive and work, because if it would have been like super sunny outside, we would have been outside every day. We would have been exploring and on the water and doing excursions, and instead we were kind of just forced to recoup, and now we're just ready for when that sunshine comes.
On to the Miami Everglades.
To the Miami Everglades. We've never been to this park before. Aaron and I are both super, super jazzed for a travel day.
Crappy weather or not, we really did enjoy our stay at Fiesta Key RV Resort, which is right around mile marker 70 on US Route 1, which means we had an extremely easy and short travel day up to the Miami Everglades RV Park. And if you've never gotten the chance to drive this stretch, it really is a scenic and relaxing cruise, especially when the sun is shining like it was for us. As we get closer to the mainland, the views change from the beautiful turquoise and blue ocean to the tropical and lush green landscape that Florida is so well known for. Well, first impressions of the Miami Everglades Encore Park is it's not bad. It's a small park, but very tropical.
It has a very tropical feeling, and it's very lush. And I love that there's grass. You know, anytime there's grass or cement, it's just so much more clean than dirt, especially when you have dogs. So that's really nice. It was a little bit tight coming in, but they escorted us with their cart. And this is the first time we've ever had 2 rangers on the cart. And one actually had to hop off because there were some really low-hanging awnings from rigs and some trucks that were parked in the road, so we did have to do a little bobbing and weaving to get in here. But our site is a pull-through site, so that made it easy. It is water and electric only. It's not a challenge, but you know, it's not as leisure as full hookups. So we have to go 10 days, which we can definitely do 10 days with a little conservation and some tricks of the trade. So I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited about the perimeter trail that's around here. I think it's a 1 mile loop exactly. So that will be nice to walk the dogs and get some jogging in.
Yes, and we have the Everglades National Park to tour, as well as Miami.
Yeah, you know, Miami's calling my name. I want to go get some Cuban food, and I want to go to the Wynwood, is it Wynwood Art District? Miami is one of my favorite cities in the entire country. I love the energy, I love the culture, and I can't wait to go bike it and eat it. And we're gonna eat and bike and explore and have a great day.
That sounded a little weird, but Lulu, you ready for a big day by yourself? Junebug. Puppies don't get to come with today.
There's too many chickens in Miami.
This Miami Everglades RV Park we're staying at is about 35 miles from the South Beach area, which equates to almost an hour on the map travel time. Another great thing about the park's location is it's about an hour from the Everglades too. So you're right in between the Everglades and Miami. I suppose that's why they call it Miami Everglades RV Park. And we're excited to see both of those locations during our stay.
It's not just a clever name.
Parking in the big cities can always be a pain in the butt. So we are gonna try South Point Park, which is at the bottom of Miami Beach. There's a nice big pay parking lot down there. I'm hoping we'll be there early enough to get in. It's not a weekend and we're right after the New Year's holiday. We brought the e-bikes along with again this time, and our goal is to ride them up and back down the entire South Beach stretch. It's about 6 miles on the boardwalk down there, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a fun little ride.
We are at South Point Park, and it's right next to where we parked. It was like $10.30 to park for 2.5 hours. But what's great is that this is a nice grassy area. It's very family friendly. There's tons of people out walking and exercising and being active because it is right after the New Year's, so everybody has those resolutions going. And there's a bathroom here, which is great. So as soon as we get here and park, we can go to the bathroom. And I already know when we leave, we'll use the bathroom again, so that's super convenient. There's a little cafe here, and there's some really cute lounging chairs for people to sunbathe. The water is right here. It's just an all-around great feeling, and the sun is coming out. It's been a little chilly here in Florida this season, so you can see I'm dressed in layers. Hopefully I'll be able to shed some today, but our plan is to take our bikes and just ride up and see how far we can go and see what kinds of sights we can see on bike. And then I know right above us is the South Point Pier, and I think that's what we're gonna try to see next.
In our last biking video in San Francisco, a lot of people asked how we lock up our bikes. So we typically look for a solid metal bike rack in a busy and plain open view area. We then use a heavy duty chain lock that I keep wrapped around my bike seat. I think the biggest mistake people make is using those flexible metal cable locks that can be cut quickly and silently, whereas this style chain would require a power saw, which is both loud and attention grabbing. So this bike rack was right across from South Point Pier, which was a quick touristy stop, but definitely a good one, giving you a fun vantage point of the white sand beach, as well as the city in the background. Okay, on to the Miami Beach Boardwalk. Voted one of the most walkable beach towns in Florida, and we would definitely have to agree. The scenic cement and paver pathway stretches for almost 7 miles, and it not only caters to walkers, but also runners and bikers. And don't worry, if you didn't pack bikes like we did, they do have multiple city bike stations where you can rent one. You of course have arguably one of the best beaches on one side, and on the other side is the glamorous Ocean Drive, which is famous for its Art Deco hotels, restaurants, and bars. The energy of this place was nothing short of spectacular. We had enough time to ride about 4 miles up before we realized we had better get back or we're going to be late for our food tour in Little Havana.
Well, we had so much fun biking, we lost a little bit track of time, and we had to rush, get back to the truck, and race to Little Havana because we are doing a foot tour that is food focused, and we are doing a little bit of a food taste through Little Havana. And we're at our first stop here, and I don't know what we're gonna eat, but I am excited because I worked up quite the appetite bike riding, and I'm excited. Wow, we are moving quickly. We started with the classic Cuban things like mojitos, plantain chips, and the Cuban sandwich. They were delicious. It was a nice hearty way to start this food tour. And then we also got to have some empanadas that had some beef picadillo, I believe it's called, and those were so scrumptious. And we followed that up with some Cuban coffee, which, oh my gosh, it was so rich, like espresso, and sweet and powerful. Just a little bit goes a long way. And I have no idea what's next, but I'm already full. I'm having fun. The smells are in the air, and there's definitely a powerful energy on this street.
One of our goals in 2024 is to get out and do more touristy stuff. Walking tours like this is a great example. We've been to Little Havana once before, but for a small fee, usually around $70, you can get guided tours like this that bring you to places that you might have just walked right by before. This one also included basically a meal's worth of food tastings and drinks, all while getting an insider's view on the local favorite stops. This tour was about 2.5 hours long and also included some great history lessons on places like Domino Park, cigar rolling shops, Bay of the Pigs Monument, Rooster Alley, and famous Cuban stars. We thought all of this was a really great value, as well as a much more interesting and immersive way to visit Little Havana.
Oh my goodness, I am so full. We did not know what to expect with this foot tour and food tour. Little samplings, it was much more than that. It was full servings of everything, and we couldn't have enjoyed it more. And just enjoying the art of this area, the history, the culture, the music, the colors. It's definitely one of my favorite spots, and I love doing these little foot tours because it gets us inside of places that we would just normally walk right by. So we had a great time today, and we had an awesome time in Little Havana.